A senior football player at Bowie High School almost died from a heat stroke after a game last week. That's all according to his mom.
Our Jayla Washington spoke with the family and shares their warning and their call for serious changes to be made.
Want to eat something?
I don't know, I guess.
Things are somewhat back to normal for Justin Trumpler and his family.
How's your appetite been today?
It's been better.
Around this time last week, he was rushed to the ER.
Seeing his face just look blankly at me like he's never seen me before was heartbreaking. They asked him if he had any siblings, and he said, I don't know, and he has 5 siblings.
I started vomiting like pretty much right after halftime, like the first or second drive we went in. I just it was the middle of play.
On a 104-degree smoldering day, the first game of the season for Bowie High School football went into overtime. Justice wasn't playing his best, and his parents noticed.
A couple times he tried to stay on his feet so that he could stay in the game and just couldn't and fell over.
At home after the game, he got worse, and after a CT scan, Justice's mom says doctors said he had a heat stroke that even caused brain swelling.
Doctors wanted us to know that he was dying.
The Corey Stinger Institute does have these sports safety policies for Texas, but most are related to sports practices.
There's not a clear cutoff of a temperature that we can say yes or no, it's okay to play. It really depends on a lot of different conditions that coaches and trainers need to work closely with physicians to figure out what makes sense for their athletes and make sure that they're safe.
According to Austin ISD's temperatures guidelines, staff must fully hydrate students before strenuous activities, give cold water and rest breaks often, and plan outdoor activities for early morning.
There are numerous protocols in place, and they weren't good enough.
Jayla Washington, KXAN News.
And we did reach out to AISD to ask about potential changes moving forward, but we haven't heard back yet. The family says their coach has been very supportive throughout Justice's recovery and is being extra mindful about trying to keep the athletes safe.
And school districts in our area have made safety changes to keep young athletes safe. Some have started high school football practice at 6:45 in the morning to avoid the heat, and other districts have moved game start times to 7:30 or 8 p.m. Under UIL rules, all schools are required to have an emergency action plan in place. Now, those plans will vary because there are regions in the state with different climates. The UIL recommends every sports team also use a wet bulb globe, and that's a temperature device. It measures weather conditions, including humidity, so coaches can decide whether to play if it's safe.
And here are the signs of heat stroke: a throbbing headache, no sweating, a rise in body temperature, a rapid pulse, or even loss of consciousness. If you see this happen to someone, call 911 while trying to keep that person cool. You'll also want to look out for symptoms of heat exhaustion, including cool, pale, or clammy skin, weakness and dizziness, heavy sweating, and a fast but weak pulse. Also check on older people with heart disease, and they can also be vulnerable to this heat exhaustion.